Welcome again to Team 4's presentations by Chris, Eva, Dina, Rachel, and Claudia. Today we're going to look at some project network diagram options. One such as a critical path method, bar charts, milestone charts, PERT charts, and project analysis charts. The critical path method, also known as CPM, graphically displays a project's activities and events as a network. Activities are indicated on the graph as nodes, and events are the beginning and ending of each activity and are denoted as lines or arcs between the nodes. The benefits of using critical path method in project management are: it displays the entire project as an easy-to-follow graph, it determines the timeline for project completion, it indicates which activities are critical for on-time completion of the project and which are not. There are 6 steps in CPM planning, and these are what they are. Identify activities included in the project, design how the activities will occur, draw the network diagram, establish completion times for each activity, identify the critical path, this is the longest path along the network, and monitor the progress of the project. It is important to note that the critical path is significant. These are the activities that, if delayed in any way, will delay the overall completion of the project. The next type of project network diagram we're going to look at today are bar charts. Bar charts present a very easy and clear visual display of simple data. We're going to take a look at what some of the parts of a bar chart are. We look at the very top, it would be the graph title. It gives an overview of the information that's being presented. Then we can look at the axes and labels. Each graph is 2. The group data axis displays the type of data being graphed, and that's found on the bottom. In this example, the price per bushel in dollars. The frequency data axis, it measures the frequency or amounts of data groups. This is found on the left side, in this case showing the quantity demanded per week. The axis scale is the range of values being presented along the frequency axis. Bars, those are the rectangular blocks that can have their base at either vertical or horizontal axes, and that are the parts of a bar chart. If you are deciding whether or not a bar chart is something that you could use for your diagram, you also got to consider the type of data that you're going to be presenting. Bar charts are made to present categorical or nominal data, also ordinal or sequential, or numerical or quantitative, as the example stated in the PowerPoint show. Also, they're typically used to compare magnitudes among several categories, such as the evolution of time or the comparison of evolution in time of several categories. The Program Evaluation Review Technique, or PERT chart, is a type of 3-point estimate that measures the expected activity duration of a project. A PERT chart is a visual representation of a project schedule showing the sequence of tasks, which tasks can be performed simultaneously, and the critical path of tasks that must be completed in time in order for the project to meet its deadline. The chart can be constructed with a variety of attributes such as earliest and latest start dates for each task, earliest and latest finish dates for each task, and slack time between tasks. A PERT chart can document an entire project or a key phase of a project. The chart allows a team to avoid unrealistic timetables and schedule expectations, to help identify and shorten tasks that are bottlenecks, and to focus attention on most critical tasks. PERT was developed primarily to simplify the planning and scheduling of large and complex projects. It was able to incorporate uncertainty by making it possible to schedule a project while not knowing precisely the details and durations of all the activities. It is more of an event-oriented technique rather than start and completion-oriented, and is used more in projects where time rather than cost is a major factor. It is applied to very large-scale, one-time, complex, non-routine infrastructure and research and development projects. This analysis involves a critical path method and the work breakdown structure to develop the timeline. When creating estimates for the PERT chart, it is also important to use expert judgment. This estimation tool uses the 3 variables to derive E, the expected activity duration. O is optimistic, the activity duration that is based on analysis of the best case scenario for the activity. M, most likely, the duration of the activity, given the resources likely to be assigned, their productivity, realistic expectations of availability for the activity, dependencies on other participants, and interruptions. P, pessimistic, the activity duration that is based on analysis of the worst case scenario for the activity. These 3 estimates are calculated through the formula on the slide. expected activity duration equals the sum of the optimistic estimate plus 4 times the most likely estimate plus the pessimistic estimate divided by 6. The next type of chart we're going to look at are milestone charts. These are also very closely related to the Gantt charts. Milestone charts are used to be able to present projects on a timeline to follow whether or not each task is being completed on time as planned previously. On this slide, you'll find various tips and tricks to be able to read and comprehend a milestone chart. As a reminder, milestone charts do depict key events along a time scale. So each milestone can be either one event or various culmination of events in that project as well. The next type we're going to look at is the Pareto chart. A Pareto chart is a type of chart that summarizes the differences between data groups and their relative importance. Here, you can see an example of a Pareto chart. You can see that each part has its own set of data, but are both interrelated. The Pareto chart can be used in a business setting for the following. It can be used in quality control where you can find the most common sources of defects and the type of defect as well as the most frequent complaints. You can use it to prioritize competing and conflicting problems to allocate where resources need to be set, which would mean that those places would be the most significant areas. We hope that as you've watched our presentation, you've been able to gather a little bit more ideas and thoughts on which charts, which diagrams to use for when, for what situations. Remember to always look to see what type of information you're going to present, who you need to present that to, and how you need to present that idea, so that your audience may better understand and comprehend what you're trying to relate to them by those diagrams. We hope that this presentation can help you in any future needs you might have to present ideas to your peers or coworkers, and we thank you for watching our presentation and learning with us.